Welcome to TerraTopia. We have been expecting you. For generations, apprentices have been called to TerraTopia to join the quest to protect all that is wild and free. Solve the mysteries here, and you will gain the power to help protect your own emerald planet, Earth. Each of us feels a special connection to certain animals. These are our animal totems. Earn the right to choose your own totem, assume your animal form, and overcome the challenges you confront. Join us. TerraTopia awaits.
I am the Snake Elder. Like my totem, I possess the ancient wisdom to know when to shed my skin and begin anew.
I am the Wolf Elder. As the Pathfinder, I guide others through the dangers and beauties of the natural world.
We are the guardians of TerraTopia. Join the Terra Troopers. Foxfire, codename Wild Spirit.
Max, codename Spinner. Bud, codename Fast Cat.
Piper, codename Wave Dancer. Sketch, codename Skyrider. Good luck on your journey, Terra Trooper. But beware, there are those who will stand in your way.
Throughout TerraTopia, I will be with you to guide you through the adventures that you face. And whenever you are unsure what to do, choose my symbol, and I will help you.
TerraTopia is a land of wonder and excitement. Explore it and discover it for yourself.
Before you begin your journey through TerraTopia, you must first enter your name.
Move it, Dino Boy! Hurry!
Come on, hurry!
Look! A new Terra Trooper has come to join us.
And none too soon. We've got to get this pint-sized Triceratops out of here, fast!
Yeah, that volcano's ready to blow its lid big time.
Look out below! All right! Way to go, Sketch.
Hey, I got a bird's eye view of the lava flow. It's safe on the other side of Dinotropics.
Then we must quickly take our little friend there.
Okay, I'll play tugboat. All aboard!
That raft's kind of small, so I'll race you there.
No problem for me. There's always room for a spider.
I'm gonna wing it, guys. Come see you there!
We will all meet at the lagoon.
To find where you can go, move your cursor around the screen. The arrows will change to show which direction you can travel.
When the Earth was still a new planet, the oceans were filled with many types of minerals. It was in this thick mineral soup that over billions of years, the first simple forms of life began.
Wonder what happened to Sketch. He's usually the first to arrive.
Right, seeing how he really flies.
We better split up and search for him.
Right. Then let's meet back at the usual place.
Hey, you guys go on. I'll stay behind and wait for the new Terra Trooper. All right, you made it. Listen, Sketch could be in trouble, so I'm gonna go ahead and look for him. You look for clues and I'll catch up with you later.
To find where you can go, move your cursor around the screen. The arrows will change to show which direction you can travel.
One can tell a lot by looking at the parts of a skeleton. Examine the teeth and figure out what the animal might have eaten. Sharp teeth for tearing meat, flat ones for grinding plants. Take a close look around here. There is much to be learned among the bones. Not only does the desert become very hot during the day, it becomes very cold at night. Because the air is so dry, the heat escapes into space at night. Clouds, on the other hand, act like a blanket, keeping the heat near the ground. The desert can be deceiving. While during the heat of the day, the sand can be as hot as 79 degrees centigrade or 175 degrees Fahrenheit, at night, the temperature can fall below freezing.
To find where you can go, move your cursor around the screen. The arrows will change to show which direction you can travel.
To the right are the talking stones. The messages written on the stones speak to us of people who lived here long ago.
To find where you can go, move your cursor around the screen. The arrows will change to show which direction you can travel.
On Earth, there are over 3,000 spoken languages, but only about 150 written languages. Try to decipher the messages and keep in mind that messages at talking stones have been known to change often.
The message you can see can be deciphered with patience.
Tree leaves have tiny holes in them. That is how they breathe. In the winter months, the cold seeps into these tiny holes, freezing them. But nature provides its own means of survival. The trees shed their leaves in the winter to protect themselves from the cold. To the right among the boulders, you may find something of use. Ahead lies the entrance to the crystal cave. Photography is a wonderful means of capturing moments in nature.
This photograph has been torn apart. To put it together properly, you need to rearrange the pieces. Move your cursor onto a piece and click down. As you hold the mouse button down, move the piece to a new position. Release the mouse button and the piece will be placed there. The piece that was in that place will move to where the other piece had been.
Flowers are brightly colored to attract insects and animals. When these creatures come to eat the nectar of a flower, pollen sticks to them. This pollen will be carried to another flower, where it will rub off and allow the flowers to reproduce. Not just birds and bees, but even some bats help flowers to grow in this manner. Most large caves are formed in a kind of rock called limestone, which can be washed away by rainwater. Water gets into cracks in the limestone, and when it mixes with carbon dioxide from the air, it makes an acid which slowly dissolves the limestone. When water drips from the ceiling of a cave, it can leave tiny particles of limestone behind that build up over time to create a stalactite hanging down from the ceiling. And when water drops containing limestone particles land on the floor, these particles can build up over time to form a stalagmite. Many myths about bats persist in our lives. Perhaps you have heard someone say, "blind as a bat." But not one of the species of bats is in fact blind. Bats are also not to be feared. Most eat either fruit or insects. Like all creatures, they play an important role in their environment and should be treated with respect. Many other cave dwellers, such as beetles, flatworms, and cave spiders, feed on guano, the solid waste of bats. The deepest cave on Earth is in Norway. It goes down so far, its depth is hard to grasp. 11,000 feet. That is more than 2 miles deep.
To find where you can go, move your cursor around the screen. The arrows will change to show which direction you can travel.
Did you know that birds' feet are scaly, and those scales grow differently on each bird? They can be used to identify birds just as human fingerprints identify humans. Fresh water is not as common as you might believe. Only 3% of the water on Earth is fresh water, and only 1% is unfrozen, existing in lakes, rivers, and underground. As you look around you, notice the trees with cones and leaves like needles. These are coniferous trees. Such trees grow in colder climates of the north and high up on mountaintops, even in the tropics. As you scale the mountain, it will become colder and colder, and the winds may become more fierce. Respect the power and majesty of the mountains. The Himalayas on Earth are about 40 million years old. This is young when compared to the oldest range on TerraTopia, which, like the Scottish Highlands, is almost 400 million years old. Each of the Earth's continents has a legend of a mysterious primate living in the mountain regions. You may have heard of Sasquatch or of the Yeti. Although you may not believe in their existence, you would be wise to remember that the world still holds its secrets. The mountain gorilla was undiscovered until this century, and one species of gorilla was not discovered until 1990. Look carefully, for nature holds secrets both large and small. As many as 1,500 species of insects have been found in just 2 fir trees. Ahead is a path to the top of Lake of the Moon. This lake was formed when a meteor fell from the sky. The Lake of the Moon stands as a reminder of the wonders beyond our atmosphere. Remember, on TerraTopia as on Earth, leave nothing but footprints and take nothing but memories. Even meteors that burn up do finally make it to the ground in the form of dust. Every single day, about 56,000 pounds of rocks and dust fall on the Earth from space. As you gaze into the lake's waters, think about the moon's light that can reflect off the surface. Then think about the speed at which light travels. Light from the sun takes over 8 minutes to reach the Earth. Light from the sun takes 11 hours to reach Pluto. The sun, which is so vital to life on Earth, is merely one of more than 100,000 million stars in the Milky Way galaxy, which is but one galaxy in the universe. Try to imagine complete silence. Even when it is very quiet at the Lake of the Moon, you can hear the nighttime sounds. But if you were to travel to Earth's moon, or to one of TerraTopia's moons, you would hear no sound at all. That is because there is no air for the sound to travel through. The deepest lake in the United States is Crater Lake in the state of Oregon. It was not created by a meteor, however. It is the remains of a volcano.
To find where you can go, move your cursor around the screen. The arrows will change to show which direction you can travel.
In the Earth's solar system, there are many meteors between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Some people think that these meteors are simply matter that was left over when the solar system was formed, but others believe that they were once a whole planet that broke apart. Throughout human history, cultures have sought to understand the stars. The Great Pyramid of Cheops was built by the ancient Egyptians in about 2550 BC and represents what is likely to be the world's oldest astronomical observatory. In addition to being a tomb for pharaohs, the pyramids were designed to tell the time in hours, days, seasons. Throughout human history, cultures have sought to understand the stars. The Great Pyramid of Cheops was built by the ancient Egyptians in about 2550 BC and represents what is likely to be the world's oldest astronomical observatory. In addition to being a tomb for pharaohs, the pyramids were designed to tell the time in hours, days, seasons, and even centuries.
The stars that you see in the heavens above can be made to form one of the ancient constellations. There is an image of a constellation on a rock. Try to connect the stars in the sky with lines so that they match the image on the rock. Move your cursor to a star and choose it. Lines will appear connecting it to other stars. Other lines may disappear as well, but with patience and a good eye, you can find the right combination. Achilles, the eagle.
The prey must learn the hunter's weakness to rise above the danger.
Remember this when facing the terrible claw.
In the distance to the west, you can see the borders of Chief Sequoia's kingdom. Chief Sequoia and the other sequoias of his kingdom know the virtue of patience. Growth comes slowly, but their lives are long. Even the small round cones of the tree can take almost 2 years to become mature and shed their seeds. Across the channel is Walking Ice Island, named for its glaciers and underground volcanic activity. An easier approach to the island can be found east of here. The path to the right heads towards the ancient sequoia forest. The path left leads you to the Lake of the Moon. Coniferous forests are made up of trees that have cones and needles. Most of these are evergreen and make their home in colder climates to the north. The great sequoias are just one of the many coniferous trees. Others include the spruce, pine, cypress, fir, and cedar. Although Chief Sequoia's majestic form is visible to the eye, there are other living things that are also large and old, but remain hidden. An underground fungus has been discovered on Earth that covers 1,500 acres of forest and is believed to be between 500 and 1,000 years old. The only visible signs of this massive organism are many small mushrooms poking up from the forest floor. Trees known as Bristlecone Pines are older even than Chief Sequoia. One of these, Methuselah, is 4,600 years old. He was already very old when the chief was young. While the sequoias are among the oldest living things, many simple plants like ferns, algae, molds, and lichens have not changed since before the time of the dinosaurs. One of the reasons that sequoias live for thousands of years is because they can survive all but the worst of forest fires by virtue of their thick bark. Fire may singe the outer layers, but most often the vulnerable wood inside remains protected. Did you know that between the inner planets of your solar system, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, there lies a belt of more than 40,000 much smaller, irregular planets known as asteroids? The meteorite that now rests in the center of the Lake of the Moon may have come from one such asteroid. High on his perch sits Chief Sequoia in all of his majesty. Very few ever get to meet him face to face. Those who wish to enter the kingdom of Chief Sequoia must prove themselves worthy. To the south is the Minotaur's maze. One can learn many things in the maze, but beware of the beast that stalks within. While he may be a myth on Earth, in TerraTopia the Minotaur is very much alive.